Don't buy it, by the way. This is not
Dunaway.
Dunaway is unreal.
Hollard opens. Dunaway's 3-betting with the 7-3 suited from the cutoff with the chip leader behind him.
He truly just doesn't care. He's going to put these pocket eights in absolute hell.
He's just going to put them right into the muck.
Yeah, the eights just fold.
7-3 suited. Dunaway expecting a lot of tight play. He's trying to exploit
it. He's going to be right.
Yeah. Kenny might call. I mean, the hand is really good, really nice. But there are, again, these giant payouts, these ladders. And you're going to see tighter folds than usual, especially from the well-studied players like Kenny Huller.
I think Kenny's going to fold, and this is just going to work.
I'm with you. I agree.
Yeah, there it is. It does get through. With the 7-3 suited from our 2023 World Series of Poker Monster Stack champion.
Yeah, so the Monster Stack, honestly, I didn't feel like I feel like I'm a way better player now because of that experience. I think being on stage, the bright lights, so to speak, I think I'm a lot more calm this time. I feel like the Monster Stack, just playing that and going through that field and learning, and I think it just helped me tremendously for this moment, and I just feel ready to play. I feel like in a crazy zone. It's good.
Been pretty dialed in. Works in the oil and gas industry. We mentioned Guinea snowboarding. You guys know Holler was an electrician?
8 years he was an electrician. I'm not making this up. He was an electrician for 8 years and then went into poker.
Was the investment consultant. Leo Margette hosts a podcast. So does Nick Wright.
You ever stuck a fork in an outlet before, Jeff, as a child?
No, I have not.
It is not a pleasant experience.
Thank you for
I would
letting
imagine
us know.
8 years of being electrocuted on the job, you find something else.
Also, Dunaway's about to have one of the most eclectic Hinden Mob pages ever, where if you sort it by biggest cash, third place, biggest cash of his career, $68,000 and change at the $1,700 Circuit Choctaw main event.
Just a good old boy, man. Born
Second
in Oklahoma
place.
and then Texas.
Yeah, second place on his career cashes, 1.1 million the Monster Stack, and first place somewhere from 7th to 1st in the main event.
Or at least 1.5 million.
Yeah.
And he could finish somewhere from 7th to 1st. That's all very live.
Absolutely.
The majority of people that are tuning in, they see a lot of themselves in a guy like Dunaway and in a guy like Waz. Just blue collar, regular person, loves to play Go, a subscriber. I am seeing that our subscription product is back over at pokergo.com. Still down on YouTube, but I am seeing the feed with the chat. So we are,
I think we're back
here
in business.
Oh my goodness. Thank you all so much for bearing with us.
So I think we should recap, most notably, the Adam Hendricks hand. The blind versus blind.
Yes, against Luka Bojovic.
So from memory, it was King 9 against 6 deuce.
Yes.
Flop.
Bojovic limped in pre, blind versus blind.
Correct.
Hendricks checked.
Hendricks in the big blind checks. Flop is Queen Jack 6.
Yes, rainbow.
It goes Bojovic bet.
Yes.
Adam raises to around 5.
Yes.
Bojovic with the King 9, 3 bets to around 10, or right, exactly 10, I think. Adam thinks for a while, 4 bets to 15 with, again, it is Queen Jack 6 rainbow. Hendricks has 6 deuce off. Bojovic has King 9 off. it's limped pre, and the action goes bet from Boyevich with his gut shot king high, raised to 5 million by Hendricks with the sixes, click back to 10 million with the king nine, click back
Unbelievable.
with the pair of sixes, and then Adam windmilled it.
Unbelievable.
Adam
Showed the
Adam
love right in his
showed
face.
it.
And we will at some point, hopefully very soon, we'll get that hand out
Yes.
and share it on social.
But it was, this is maybe me just trying to create a storyline, but it felt inspired by Mizrachi's presence in that there is a bit of a early on old school, I don't believe you. And so we're just going to go back and forth like the famous, I don't even remember what it was, but the famous Ivy hand in Europe at the final with the heads up when it just went click, click, click to a final shove. Grinder also won a hand with ace-3 that he went out and took after he was bleeding off some chips a bit to stabilize. I think those are the most noteworthy things we've had so far.
So we do apologize. We are back. We are stable, as seems to be the case, both on PokerGo as well as on our YouTube channel.
I got to say, if it was going to happen, we didn't miss any bust outs.
That was the time.
It was that there was one amazing.
The Hendricks hand's pretty sick,
but it's not the very end.
Right.
Created some firewalls.
John Sin in 2018, the last player to start the final table in 4th and finish it on top.
Speaking of firewalls, maybe get a couple of those set up internally, right?
Yeah, might need those.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the world's greatest football writer, Bill Barnwell, watching and assigning me a version of the Jeff Platt curse to the stream. Saying,
wow.
You show up and the stream goes down.
That's what a lot of people are talking about.
Dunaway has been very, very active thus far. We expected that coming in. Now he's got the goods.
So we saw Dunaway 3-bet with 3-7 suited. We then saw him 3-bet again with ace-queen off. Both times, Kinney had queen-jack suited. But the table has seen him very active.
And keep your eye on this one here with Grinder and Dunaway.
You hear from Grinder's rail.
Feels like we're going up.
It looks like
in the overflow area.
Yeah, this will be annoying if Grinder has to fold after 3-betting.
Dream spot for Dunaway. See Grinder 3-bet here. Hendricks, a very pretty king-jack suited.
Could get him in trouble. I don't think it will in this moment, but you know Hendricks coming in expected the fireworks between Dunaway and Mizrachi. They will be the most active players. If he finds these cold 4-bet types of scenarios, he might take it. This might not be a spot he elects to go with, but we'll see. Hendricks playing some street poker early on. That hand that we talked about that Nick broke down was 6-deuce off.
He has created a bit of separation between himself and Margette and Boyevich.
I think Mizrachi said good.
Yeah, he did.
Muttered it over.
Now, assuming the 4-bet is coming in, we know what Jeff and his fellow wizards would do with ace-4 suited.
I don't know about that.
No,
5-bet jam.
I'm telling you, if Dunaway gives any sort of rope here, and he's going to make it, what is the size?
35?
Oh.
Well, there's no rope.
He says, let's just go with this.
Whoa. 35. I mean, that just shuts it down.
Yeah, he's on.
Didn't recognize you for a second.
So much for that. I think. I mean, maybe Grinder still finds a way to get it in, but I doubt it.
Sounds like you're committed.
That is a really fascinating decision by Dunaway.
Yeah.
Almost just simply
Basically jamming.
declaring,
Yeah.
I have no interest, even with kings, on playing a huge pot out of position against this guy. And so I want to remove all decisions. Am I misreading that? Is there any other?
I think Dunaway's just saying, bro, I don't want to mess around right here. That's it. I'm not messing around. Let's just move on. I'm not trying to get kings cracked, you know. 7 left in the main.
The beat on rail. As we remind you that NAPT Las Vegas is back at Resorts World for the 3rd year in a row. It runs November 3rd through the 12th. The highlights include the 50K Super High Roller and the 5K main event. Plus, there's a 1K PokerStars Open at the start of the series and a 1K Women's High Roller. PokerStars players in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Michigan, and Ontario have the chance to win their way to the NAPT.
If you got it, you got it. You know?
You got it.
Wise man once said.
I was not expecting to boy, so much ice.
The overflow areas are packed.
Empty cup or something. You're in America, you should know you get a lot of ice.
This is a hot ticket.
You know that when I come to America, I travel with my own coffee. That's the level.
No respect for the fine American coffee makers.
I mean, the fine American coffee makers are just importers, right? Unless you're in Hawaii. I feel like it's, I mean, I get great coffee from an amazing grocery store in New York City called Zabar's, but I don't think it's local.
Not made in America?
I mean, I assume our coffee is not here, but again, I would tell Leo, like, you can get amazing coffee in America.
Stuff, yeah. A bit expensive here, perhaps, for the good stuff.
Tariffs? Why is it expensive here?
I knew. Brent's eyes lit up. And here's one of my favorite things about Brent Hanks. You can't ever accuse him of being political because he really just doesn't know what he's talking about.
Right. Good point.
Like, what tariffs is a good line, but I don't know who is supposed to be insulted by it.
I'm not insulting anyone.
Exactly.
I'm
Clearly,
asking, begging the question.
And what, again, I apologize, just to go back. You taught which class?
This actually is good for my case. 5th and 6th grade.
Social studies.
Yeah, we learned a lot about the Boston Tea Party. Tariffs.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we only play 60.
It's a revolution.
32.
Marchette's defends with the Jack Deuce suited.
59, okay.
I see a deuce in the window.
And again, we were having a slight geopolitical conversation, but it is noteworthy.
Very slight, yes.
Dunaway just opening under the gun +1.
Yeah,
It's not.
It's not outrageous.
If he likes
but
the hand, he just plays it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that with Dunaway. He treats this like a cash game,
I gotta
which
tell
makes
ya.
him dangerous.
it also reminds me of my style, which
dear.
I've got to tell you, I'm not sure is great for Dunaway's chances, but it's giving me hope.
0 mistakes.
no mistakes.
Leo, non-believer.
Turns a gutter.
See if Dunaway fires up a second shell, turning that gutter. He just looks like he's in the zone, right? What we heard in his interview.
Oh, he does check back.
River brings the 10 of spades.
Does Dunaway just give up ever? Are you allowed to give up?
Really hard for him to bluff at this putt. It might work. He's playing it sort of like he could have had a flush draw.
Right.
Bet flop. Okay, I get called. Little resistance. Flush comes home.
And if you are against something like this, you can win with a bet. Potentially. Not definitively, but and checking, you're just giving it away.
Just going to give it up.
Might be a wise just wave it sort of scenario. Also some information gathered from Dunaway. What is Leo defending with?
Yeah, and maybe she has 4 or 5 and your 8 high just wins it.
That'll be good for Leo Margetts, the 27th place finisher in 2009.
I was 27th in 2009, so of course it's very unfair to judge my game based on what I know now, but obviously, you know, like I'm a different, how not, no? A different player 17 years later. I think obviously I've improved a lot in terms of my technical skills, but the biggest difference is the mental. I think the main event is a super emotional event where you need to know how to manage your emotions very well. But then I don't know, my mantra, my goals has been to play, to be proud of myself and have fun. Because since we are here, let's have fun.
Leo Margetts, first woman to make the main final table in 30 years. Started working, by the way, after school at IMG.
Oh, really?
Sports management company.
So if I may, Jeff, just for the audience, because the blinds just went up, I just think it's worth noting. Bojovic is down 10 million, Hendricks is up 10 million. That's essentially due to that one hand we described. Wozniak is up a clean 50 million, again, from where they started. And then Dunaway, Hollert are up 13 and 18. Leo is basically dead even. And then Grinder's down 24 million from where he started. So he's really the only player other than Bojovic that got involved in that weird hand that isn't in a better position from where they started. And that's obviously because we've had 2 players bust out, so those chips are distributed elsewhere. But I just wonder how Grinder is when he starts the day in second and now all of a sudden sees himself right in the middle of the pack and far from the biggest stack, how that lands for him.
Well, he's kind of forcing it a little bit with the open and the ace deuce.
He is, right? Ace deuce off. He's just right back to work. He will be relentless. I don't expect him to really ever pump the brakes and say, okay, now I got to tighten up. He's just going to keep coming after it.
Got to feel good to get that one over 75 million in chips now. 1 million, 2 million, a 2 million at big blind ante. Bojovic the shortest stack, but still comfortable. Still more than 20 bigs.
Leo, you'd imagine, not folding here.
She has king 10 as well. I keep going back to this. You wonder if Woz opens the king 8 suited earlier. Then McGinney jams ace queen suited and Hollart folds the 4s. Woz then folds the king 8 suited. It's just, you just never know.
It's kind of mind-boggling and warped to think about how just randomness can affect so much,
Yeah.
especially in tournament poker.
On day 8, we had a 3-bet by ace-queen into Waz's 4-bet with ace-king. Padron has jacks,
13,
has Waz covered, tanks forever, folds them.
13.3.
The ace-queen
13-3.
calls off, and Waz holds and propels him here. And now Kenny done getting pushed around.
3-betting with the ace-4 off.
Leo started the hand around 25, 26 bigs and out. And Nick, to what you were just talking about, that hand with Waz and with Padron, who finished in 10th place. Had he gone with the 2 jacks, Waz is out.
Correct. Yes.
Both players would have been eliminated, and Padron potentially may have been the chip leader coming into the final table.
I should have. I didn't finish it. I apologize. It came 8 high. The run out.
Right.
And by the way, you say both players would have been out. Ace Queen probably folds.
Might
them.
just muck.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And instead, Waz is sitting here with more than a quarter of the chips in play, 1.5 million locked up, and again, Jeff's the wizard. His stack right now is in real dollars worth 4.5 million.
I think it was worth 4.5 entering the day. So yeah, probably
yeah,
6-ish. I don't know.
A little more. It's worth more than 3rd place money is what.
Yeah, for sure.
My educated, and by educated, having studied 0 ICM spots ever,
Very educated.
Is this our? Oh, small blind. I was going to say I thought this was an open limp. My apologies.
6-4-3 straight draws for both. Waz is of the open-ended variety. Dunaway leads for 3.2 million. After talking with Waz over the last couple days, it feels like he's just in the middle of this magical experience. He's like got enough confidence in himself, like, hey, yeah, I'm playing solid. I realize some of these guys are really good.
Oh.
But I can put pressure on him, especially here. He makes it 8.5 million. Nice.
For Waz, this is a free roll, right? He said it.
Yeah, he said it.
Late,
Yeah.
2 nights ago at the end of the night that just has no pressure on his shoulders.
Dunaway makes the call.
Makes the call.
And Waz turns the straight.
This could get Dunaway in trouble if he wants to try and represent the Waz holding. I don't think it'll happen, but if somehow Waz were to check here, he would be opening up that river door for Dunaway to have to bluff, assuming it's some sort of brick. He does check. This is gross.
River brings another 6.
75-7.
Waz may have just given him more and more value for that turn straight. He may have opened up the door to receive max value.
You saw this coming, Brent.
It's happening, yeah.
And the call on the flop is, I know he had the best hand with queen high. It feels like you see a lot of times with that gut shot, a check raise on the flop. but a
The
check
lead.
call.
He
Dun-
led for 3.2, and then was raised.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but to
Waz is locked in.
yeah, just snaps it off.
Dunaway right
Dunaway
from up.
mucks.
Waz doesn't have to show his hand either.
oh,
As he extends his chip lead. He's got more than 80 million more than anybody else.
He's got more than 30% of the chips in
Wow.
play.
and again, not to be results oriented, and I'll ask you guys, but Dunaway's call of Waz's raise that on the flop
Yeah.
is highly irregular, right? Sometimes in those spots when you have the gut shot, you put in the raise yourself.
Yeah.
But just calling his raise with
Well-
queen 7 on a 3-4-6 is not typically a thing, right? Am
I do
wrong?
think, to your point, you see that kind of action go check raise
Yes.
with a hand like that versus on 6-4-3.
I think,
Small blind versus big blind go lead.
yeah, I think normally it's, you know, for Dunaway,
Tournament rule.
check call or check raise
yeah.
is best rather than lead and then call a raise on the flop. But, you know, we got 2 overs to the board plus a gut shot
Yeah.
to the straight. It's not that bad. I think really
And he was ahead. I mean, to be
Right.
fair, queen high was
And that's
ahead,
why that
but
shows you why you see a lot of continues there.
yeah.
I just love the way that Waz decided to play it, checking back turn, having made
Knowing that Dunaway.
straight. That's how he was able to maximize his profits that hand.
Raise 9.3.
It's been a rough last couple hands for Margette as she opens the king 10 again and again gets 3-bet. This time by Dunaway, this time much smaller.
Grinder just hates to fold.
He's just trying to find a way to get in there.
Every time he has to fold,
I don't think he will be. I mean, we saw it when he had ace-jack off at the start of play with 18 players remaining and just open rip, essentially 20 bigs under the gun. When he gets into this, what he feels is short mentality, he's going to go for it. I'm telling you, Grinder will get all of his chips in the middle before anybody else. He really will.
Dunaway
Oh.
just keeps coming.
He's going to run into it once more as Waz looks down at kings.
Second time that Waz has had kings, I believe.
$10 million.
His 3-bet is to 10 million.
Oh,
And Grinder has ace king.
oh my goodness. Absolute cooler. Just talking about Mizrachi, right? He's never folding
You
here.
spoke this into existence. Brian.
Obviously you know this. We have
Yeah,
no
we have-
idea
Right,
what's
right,
to
right.
come on this broadcast. So
We are spoiler free watching it with you all at home.
And
He says raise it up.
here we go. Crowd knows what that means. They're saying, oh, Mikey's getting it in. He's going to go all in. And he's going to be in terrible shape.
there's not quite all in.
It's committing.
Makes it 30 million. Everybody else an interested observer, a 400K pay jump.
Dunaway just sort of taking his time before he inevitably bows out of the way.
Waz's turn with the kings.
How much you got
Want
back?
to count? I'm like, a lot. You want to count?
Yeah. Grinder. He wants to
I
count.
mean, at least an estimate here.
30.
I'm all in. Raise all in.
And here we go. More than 151 million in the middle.
Kings, ace king.
Ace king. Ace
The
king.
winner of this hand's going to win the tournament. I'm going to say that right now.
I've got kings, he's got ace king.
Mizrachi's going to take the chip lead or be out in 7th.
If he hits this ace, this place will explode.
Either Mizrachi's got 150 or Wozniak has half the chips in
Right.
play.
Biggest pot of the main event. Jack 9-7. Clean for the kings. Grinder looks for an ace. We can see one was folded pre. That's why the ace of hearts is grayed out.
It's crazy.
Turn card is a queen. The straight draw arrives.
All of a sudden.
But he doesn't obviously know. That only added one out. 3 tens folded.
It's got to be the ace of diamonds, the ace of clubs, or the 10 of diamonds for Michael Mizrachi, where his day is done. To stay alive.
Oh my God!
He finds the ace on the river.
He only had 3 live outs in the deck.
I'm sure you're rooting for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael the Grinder Mizrachi is your new chip leader after that.
What a setup.
And I understand what I said when it all went in. Sounds, and even when I replayed it in my head, sounds premature. The winner of this hand is going to win the tournament. But if Woz had won it, he's at 260 million with 6 left. And now Grinder,
Fourth time in 2 days, man.
the most dangerous player at the table, if not the most studied,
when they need it.
is the chip leader.
As we take a look at the leaderboard presented by Poker Stars, Mizrachi at more than 150 million, a 40 million lead over Woz. Pollard in 3rd, Dunaway, Hendricks, Margetts, and Boyevich round out this final table. Not sure if it's possible to fill this main event with more drama.
This continues to be the greatest main event in history.
No arguments here.
Made for TV, baby.
It is, in my estimation,
But the way it ran out,
undeniably the best of what I would call
No other outs.
the modern era, like the post-poker boom era of the last 15 to 20 years. It's,
Since Moneymaker, basically.
yes.
Yeah. Well, here he comes.
Now it's easy, right?
Back to work.
I got chips. I can raise every hand now. I even made side bets on me.
And Hendricks, who's played less hands than anyone at the table, and also played the most audacious hand of anyone at the table.
Both with the sixes. Of course, we keep talking about Michael Mizrachi being down to 3 big blinds, somehow making this final table. We've seen the roller coaster ride that's taken place today. But this whole tournament has been the absolute roller coaster for Mizrachi. He bagged less at the end of day 3 than he did at the end of day 1 and end of day 2.
Probably a long night for him before day 3.
He's from Florida, right? A lot of alligators there?
Yeah. I see it.
Yeah. Alligator blood, Jeff.
I see it.
Perhaps, 23andMe. We'll figure some stuff out about Mizrachi.
To see that he's from Florida?
Well,
I think 23andMe more goes like way back, not just where you're from.
Brent, were
they're
you under the impression
essentially
that
dinosaurs, right? Gators and crocodiles, they've been around since the prehistoric era? I was a social studies teacher, by the way, just reminding you.
I'll check the winner, Grinder says. He's kind of right.
And he does have the winner. So
I do really appreciate the energy Grinder brings to a poker tournament. Guys showing emotion, fist bumping. I miss that in some of the biggest poker tournaments.
we need that, and now we have it in the biggest poker tournament. We have it from the 7-time bracelet winner, the 4-time Poker Players Championship winner. This is second main event final table. Just an extraordinary run throughout the World Series for the Grinder.
And is this a decent time for a mini rant, Jeff? 90 seconds?
Yeah, we'll give you 90. We can give you 90, right?
Oh, well,
Because obviously, one of the stories of this tournament was Wsop. And one of the stories of the World Series prior to that was Cabral. And the talking and the antics and the general annoyances. And I understand, I think we all can agree, Wsop went 7 steps too far and went so far people were like, actually, we need to be worried about him because we think something might be wrong with him. Nobody wants more of that. However, if the trade-off for in our biggest poker events is having more people who show they care, who are not too cool for school and might have a little extra gamble in them and talk and try to bring back a bit of what made so many of us fall in love with the game, is that some people take it a step too far. Me personally, I will take that every day of the week over with respect to great players. But like everyone doing their best Christoph Vogelsang impersonation of I'm going to cover every part of my face I can, I'm going to be stoic. That is not bringing people into the game. That is not fun to watch. And by the way, that doesn't remind any of us that aren't pros what poker is like when we play it. And even the best and biggest poker games in the world that aren't tournaments but are cash games for millions of dollars, people are drinking, they're trash talking, they're having fun, and there usually is a guy or two or a gal or two that gets out of line. And I'm okay with that rather than what has become, for I think a lot of amateur players, what they think is the way they're supposed to play. Like, well, if the best in the world are leaving a chip behind and silent and doing all this, that to me is not what's best for poker. It's not the most fun way to play. And it's one of the reasons I'm rooting for the Grinder, because he is a nice, happy medium. He's not insulting anybody. He's not out of line, but he's passionate, he cares, and he's fun.
We gave you 180 seconds there because we're on board.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, fully support that entire statement.
Well, 180 seconds is about the shortest I've delivered a rant in 10 years, guys. So I did my best there.
Do indeed want to create a more welcoming atmosphere
Yeah.
Oh, there we go, Brent. Hendricks deuces on the button.
Oh!
Awful laydown.
Margette's the ace-10 suited. 20 bigs.
Can't just limp the
Small
button
blind.
one time. You know, just one blind. Just call. No.
Grinder called a 3-bet with deuces earlier. He's now the chip leader. Just saying.
Great point. As Hollard looks down at 2 6s in the big blind. Again, Margette starting the hand a little less than 20 bigs. These are 2 hands perhaps worthy of doing battle in this specific scenario. Hollard does jam.
Yeah, and this hand might be
Ace-10
too
suited.
good. I think it has to call. I think ace-10 suited is a call. She knows it. She's gathering herself.
I call.
And she makes the call.
As 10 de corazones. As 10 de corazones. Me ha hecho push directo.
¿Contra qué? ¿Contra qué?
Contra 6. As 10 de corazones.
Ace-10 of hearts against 6s. Margette goes to a rail like she's been doing. Can hardly watch.
Bien, 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 bien jugado, bien jugado. Cae, 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 caelas. Caelas. Corazón. Ha salido 6, ¿no? No, no ha salido, tranquila. No ha salido nada todavía. Tranquila, cae, cae, corazón, cae.
One of the most significant flips that we've seen in World Series of Poker main event history.
Rey de Majota. Corazón, corazón, corazón. As.
Jack of hearts, 7-5, 3 to the royal. For now, Margette looks for an ace or 10.
Queen of hearts.
That would be a fun one.
Viene las. As. Tíralo.
The turn is the ace
Oh, but it's a spade.
of spades. Not over yet.
Before, right? Yesterday.
Hollard looks for the 6 or the spade to eliminate Leo Margette.
No me grites al oído, un 2.
No, ya está. Un 2. El 2 de tréboles, el pato.
River card is a spade.
La punta pica, tío, no lo había visto, tío.
No pasa nada, Leo, lo has hecho súper, ¿eh? Eres la campeona, eres la número 1, eres la mejor.
Oh, the air's taken out of the room. As the well-deserved round of applause starts to come in for Leo Margette. A 7th place finish. And an outstanding performance that made history at the World Series of Poker main event.
2 spots shy of the best finish for a woman in this tournament's history. The most money ever made by any woman in this tournament's history. Her 2nd career deep run at the main. And it certainly felt like the person the poker world at large was rooting for. And now, I don't know about you guys, I'm stunned that 90 minutes in, we've lost a third of the field.
We've seen this before. That's like, it's crazy how many times we have seen it.
We have seen
Just-
it, yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
The amount of action in the first hour and a half compared to what we typically see at main event final tables.
Well, you have Dunaway, who's been mixing it up, Grinder, who wants to play every hand, Wozniak, who has
4.1.
played all the hands he's supposed to, he's just been dealt huge hands.
The dream. The dream. Russ.
Insane. Insane. 1.5 probably. Right? So hard to root against her.
Hear the players
Four pocket pairs, that's for sure.
talking to. It's everyone, the entire world. was rooting for
You guys already
Margets.
owe me a few beers by now.
Beer? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was thinking bottles of wine, but beer's fine with me.
I'm more a wine drinker, actually.
Okay.
So let's settle for
All right,
that.
I'll get you wine.
Dunaway wants to just play ball, folks. He's in there with the 9 deuce off.
Oh, yeah.
Did you feel
Flops
like
a
it was
9.
It's going to be
coming
more
over or not?
than a beer or a bottle of wine.
Did it feel like it was coming or not, the spade?
Never in doubt.
Huh?
Never a doubt. And listen, it seems like Leo has not wanted to really lean into the fact that a woman hadn't made the final table in 30 years. Not that she was running from it. She didn't seem to really want that to be the story, and I understand that. But what is undeniably true is the poker world would be better off. The more people that play the game, the more people that play tournaments, the more people that are involved in anything, the better that industry gets. You get more personalities, you get more money, you get more interest, you get more all of it. And I think Leo making the final table obviously was great. And I also think that her unique, I don't know if personality is the right word, disposition just seemed to be one that people naturally were going to root for.
For sure.
I say that in part because I have a bet on Hendricks, and I just declared Grinder was going to win, and I found myself very sad that she was eliminated.
And it's, of course, with all due respect to a guy like Kenny Howard, who everybody seems to love in the poker industry. But you could hear a pin drop in this arena after that spade rolled off on the river.
Keep your eyes on this hand, not to get too far away from the action. Flop went check, check. Mizrachi decided to bet turn. Dunaway called, and now Mizrachi obviously would have to turn these 2 4s, I believe, into a bluff if he bets once more. Trying to target a 9, Jack 7, just shuts it down. He's going to be kicking himself.
Very nice.
There's one for Dunaway. That just one of many battles that we'll see between those two.
You'll be a big one.
9 deuce.
Grinder with ace king again.
And again, he gives the
guys.
Not that we're big live reads guys.
I'm just telling you, I think Grinder's got a live tell. 2 thumbs to the
We're
skies
2 for 2 on that one.
is ace king off.
Oh, and it's 2 jacks for Hendricks. Starting the hand with a little less than 30 bigs, facing
I'm
the
not worried
open
about
from
him.
the chip leader.
What about you guys?
Second smallest stack
gonna
on the
fold.
table.
Should be.
Grinder just said, I'm not
Bet
worried
you
about
folds.
him. I'm worried about
I'll
you
tell you.
guys.
It's going to be a 40-second take and fold. It's in the camera.
Hendricks in between just, 3-bet call, I believe, with this hand. But because it's the Grinder as the chip leader who's going to be opening a ton of hands, he says, all right, you know what? 3-bet, I'm willing to play for it all if he 4-bets all in. I don't think we're 3-bet folding 2 jacks against Mizrachi.
No chance.
And I don't think Mizrachi's ever just calling with these chips in this spot.
150 million.
There it is. There's the jam. Hendricks looks back.
He knows he's in a 6 spot right now. The way Mizrachi said that, he's going to call anyway. Here we go.
Here we go once more.
Jack's ace king.
Ace king.
Could turn this tide of the tournament once again.
There's a string.
Ace king, ace king.
Hey, Keeler, Jack of hearts. Jack ball. Jack of hearts. Jack ball.
Hendricks will watch alongside Israel.
I'm Jax.
Crazy.
Jack 6-3 rainbow. It is Jack. Jack 6-3 rainbow.
Electric atmosphere
Go. Jack
at the
6-3.
Horseshoe Event Center.
Jack 6-3.
Let's see 3. Queen, queen 4. So far, so good for the jacks of Adam Hendricks.
Got a deuce. Deuce down. Deuce down. Deuce down.
The turn is a king. The turn is a king. Hendricks down to 2 outs. It's a jack there for the Iceman. No. And perhaps the toughest player left. One of the best pros out there in the game, Adam Hendricks, out in 6 for $1.9 million.
More than triples his previous career best score for, I think it's fair to say, one of the best young players in the world.
Absolutely.
Not only because I had a bet in on him, that's now in severe jeopardy because I was fading Hollert.
Cleaning.
It's a kid from Alaska. Go back each summer to do some fishing and eventually stopped fishing and started watching the main event. Inspired him, that led him here today, living out his dream. Final tabling, and he's going to walk home 6th place.
Still has that second dream to accomplish, right? One was final table, the main one was win a World Series of Poker bracelet.
His day will come.
Oh, he's a huge, he will win a bracelet. I feel like the question is how many. And he does get to bring home to his fiancée, Kat, nearly $2 million. But we are now in an insane position where we have not hit the first break. 4 players are gone. Boyovich is at 18, and everyone else is at well north of 40 bigs.
Things will be a little different this time. Deja vu. Wow, that's a world record, guaranteed. 4 bust outs.
Boyovich has not had a great day, yet he's made $1.4 million in about an hour and a half.
I told you folding makes money.
Yeah, you did.
If you told Boyovich in the first hour 45, you're going to play 6% of the hand, lose $15 million, all because you got in a crazy click war.
$5 million?
$5 million to go.
And ladder 4 times.
2 players. Thank you.
Just think no way. Or maybe with this exact group, he could see the possibility. Sure glad we got the internet fixed.
Holy moly.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Think the fans are excited? You know, if I was
imagining
at
a world
home on my couch watching the night shift like you and I, all 3 of us have done, not you, Jeff, you've been working, but I would be so angry, throwing stuff at my TV, tweeting left and right, get it back.
I got to tell you, pretty awful timing, though, by those sons of guns hackers, whoever did whatever they did. Because if their goal was to hurt the World Series or the stream or Poker Go, they took out the only uninteresting part of the entire tournament.
The only bad part, the only boring part is what they took out.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything, really.
You missed one very interesting small blind versus blind, Boyovich Hendricks. Nothing else. Everything else has been here.
You cleaned out the rim, man.
Anybody need a bracelet? Wristband?
Any hope Dunaway had of taking this away on the river, not that necessarily he was going to try to, probably just went away there.
Breaking records here for sure.
And I know we've been caught up in the moment, the excitement, but Mizrachi having more than 100 bigs,
One record that counts.
five-handed, is a problem for the other four.
Interesting, Dunaway calling pre. Just checking back flop and turn. We try to go for it here on the river. He will not.
Only one record that
I
counts.
think he has great feel.
Yeah.
You know, he did not expect to win the pot at any point of that hand, and he was right. I don't think Kenny was going to let him off the hook.
All right, it's the Iceman out in sixth, and Adam Hendricks is now standing by with our Natalie Bodie.
Adam, from a kid who started playing poker in college to the main event final table, what has this experience been like for you?
Yeah, it's a game changer for me. I feel like I've had some good wins and stuff like that, but nothing like the final table or like a bracelet. So this is a step up for me and very fulfilling.
What will be the most memorable part of competing on this stage when you look back?
I mean, I saw my rail after I busted and, you know, high-fived them and stuff. And just saw them. That's very nice. I mean, besides like your wedding or maybe your funeral, like you don't see all your loved ones in one place usually. So that's pretty nice.
Congrats on the run. Thank you for the time.
And he's going to have quite the wedding, I imagine, with another $2 million.
Also, it's very rare you see your funeral.
That's also true, yeah.
Another.
Seen some huge hands.
I'm surprised it's done. I would imagine he just calls. It's usually his style to just want to get mixed up with flops, but.
And that's part of why we've had such an insane 2 hours. Every spot, Brent, where there's been a choice, do I call this raise or 3-bet?
Yeah, it's been like the higher variance.
Every guy, every time, has chosen the 3-bet approach. Nobody's passively played a big hand.
With the exception of maybe hand number one, which was just a cooler.
Correct.
Wow, Mizrachi.
Are you serious?
Squeezing 2 jacks. What?
Which is it?
11,500,000.
Oh my goodness.
Double fisting with the Millie chips.
I'm telling you,
is there any
Kenny Holler might have to
folds?
fold ace king. Second in chips, seeing this type of action, 3-bet, 4-bet behind.
Boyevich, by the way, sitting there thinking, maybe this could happen again.
This is insane.
600K pay jump from 5th to 4th.
You can see him doing the accounting. I mean, the door's open where he obviously could rip it, but just think about that spot. You're second in chips.
And you have 75 bigs going into the hand.
And it doesn't look like Mizrachi's messing around, right? He's got a hand. He knows that Mizrachi has a hand.
In this specific spot, though, if he did rip it, I think Mizrachi folds.
He might. He might. Look at the sizing. That $40 million from Mizrachi, that's already committing his stack to Dunaway, who's the 3-better.
Right, but not to Holler.
Not to Holler. But I'm saying I just don't think that ace king off is in any sort of position to want to just play a pot for the main event. But you'd be talking about more than 60% of the chips in play if it all went in.
Whether he's right or not, I think Kenny thinks he's the best player left. And is going to try to find a better spot.
I
Great
agree.
point.
This is not.
It's a great point.
This is not a hand you just want to get all in with right here, right now. Not with those payouts. Not with Wsop having less than 20 bigs. This is sickening.
When he turned his head to the dealer, I thought he was going to just say looked like that when you turn your head to say all in. He turned his head to the dealer, said nothing, and now is turned back. I think he's folding.
And he does let go of the ace-king. Dunaway out as well, and Mizrachi extends his chip lead.
I don't blame him. I think you just kind of have to be sick about it and fold. And Nick, you nailed it. Kenny he feels very confident with his skill set. That is the type of spot he's trying to avoid at this stage.
And we haven't talked much because we haven't had like room to breathe about the ladders and everything. So right now, if they had gotten it in there in that coin flip and Kenny comes up on the light side of the coin, he walks with 2.4. The next spot pays 3. Third pays 4 million. Second pays 6 million. And you have Wsop sitting there with 16 bigs and Kenny feeling like, again, whether he should or not, feeling like I'm the best player at the table.
In a clear-cut second place right now.
I'd have gambled.
If you would reverse the roles there, right? If it was Dunaway, second in chips with the ace, right? If that was Dunaway,
they were going in.
We were going to play
a 350 million,
chip pot for 60% of the chips in play.
Check.
Wow. Ace king, 1 spade.
Can I do my best Ali Najad?
Please.
Najad for a moment. A lot of opportunities here.
2 million.
I thought you were going to say something very perverse, and I was ready for it.
No,
ready for anything.
That's not my style. Nor is it Ali's, of course. By the way, saw Ali's car when we were walking in.
He parks literally right next to the truck. You know, just premium access for Ali.
Surprised it's not nicer, to be honest.
Yeah. Is that like a tier C Bentley that he's got?
I mean, it's not tier A.
Yeah. I think his day rate must be higher than ours.
Slightly, I would imagine so.
Kenny turns the flush draw. God, I feel like we just need time to breathe. I can't imagine what those guys feel like.
Check.
Well, good
King
thing.
of spades arrives on the river.
The weird spot where the third nut flush is only slightly better than just having queen high.
Curious if Kenny goes for a little value here, targeting the queen high, jack high holdings. You are a little bit concerned about Mizrachi playing a king in this fashion. Small bet flop, check, check, turn. But even if he did, you're never getting raised.
Flush.
Does go check, check.
Flush is good.
Chop it.
originally from Belgium, Brent. Have you been?
To Belgium?
Yes.
Is that in Ohio?
I'm not sure if there is a Belgium, Ohio. You know, that happens sometimes. Paris, Texas, and things like that. But no, I'm talking about the country. Brussels is there. Ghent, which I don't think is how you pronounce it, where he's from, is there.
Bruges.
Bruges, that was a famous movie.
Fantastic film.
Great film. Good chocolates, I hear, as well in Belgium.
So
Where are you
you've
going
never
with
been.
this?
It was a genuine question.
Oh, no,
I was there.
Yeah.
I drove through Belgium with my wife and her grandparents who are in their 90s, who we take on trips. And it might have been the most beautiful place I've ever been in my life.
Is that right?
Wow.
Yeah. Just drive. Like, I don't know if there's a ton to do. We spent a couple days in Brussels, but as far as the beauty of it, it was unbelievable. It seemed like something you would like, Brent. You're a
What
bit of an
side of the
outdoorsman.
road do you drive on there?
I believe the one you're used to.
The normal side?
It's only British, Britain and British, old British territories that go on the left hand.
Oh, okay, and then I can handle it, yeah. Someday maybe I'll head over.
Sounds like Nick's day rate is slightly higher than ours also
Yeah.
with the Belgium trips.
I wasn't paying for it with Poker Go money.
That's good.
Are there any openings at FS1?
Is there a break in 7 minutes?
Yeah.
Raised to 7 million.
Hollart limps in with the A7, Dunaway with King Queen. Bumps it up to 7.
Dunaway is relentless, man.
Hollart makes the call.
Check.
Jack 5-3, couple hearts.
Pretty tough for Kenny to continue if Dunaway can find continuation.
That is 4,500,000.
At just over 25% though, Brent?
Yeah, it's pretty small. We'll see. If he had the ace of hearts, I think we're certainly in. There's not a lot of turn cards that you're overly excited about. Rather than call, maybe he's considering check raise with this type of holding, but really tricky against a guy like Dunaway. His stack size, again, with Dunaway, started the hand around 35 bigs. That might be the one thing to leverage. Does just call, though. Not done with it.
Boyevich has to be watching this like, oh my God.
Absolutely
What?
is.
Is there going to be
Again.
another massive confrontation? And that card gives them both a little bit of future for the hand.
Dunaway turns the open ender. Hollart, 7 of hearts in his hand.
We have a break. 4 minutes. 4 minutes to break.
Check.
What? What?
You heard Grinder say 4 minutes to break. When we go to break, we'll send it to Ali Najad and Nick Schulman on the break desk. Then they'll be in the booth the rest of the way. We'll be out there on the floor in the middle of this electric atmosphere. In about an hour, you guys might see Brent jumping around with the Luca rail. On
Yeah,
the
I'm
chance.
excited to get out there with the people. Going nuts on the rail.
Sure, by that point, Luca will have laddered his way up to 3rd.
Check.
Check, check. River deuce of diamonds.
We'll see if somehow Kenny can get the showdown with just ace high and be good. And I know you, Jeff, you just pointed out, you know, Nick and Ali, not only will they be taking over for the remainder of today, pass the baton all day tomorrow to finish this thing off from start to finish.
I mean, I think that's something we would all say, something that they deserve and that the poker world deserves.
Absolutely. I don't even know if they realize that that's going to happen.
You just broke that news?
Well, maybe.
They're quite simply the greatest poker commentary duo of all time, and that is with no disrespect to any other duos. But the chemistry between them, plus what I comped it to before, and I will do it again, having Nick Schulman at this point in his career call these tournaments is as if in 2019, the 1 year in a decade that LeBron James wasn't in the finals, he was doing color commentary for the finals. When you have arguably the greatest player alive giving live thoughts on the biggest tournament, and now they get to crown the champion, it's unbelievable for poker fans everywhere. Meanwhile, Dunaway trying to think, is there a way I can wrestle this pot away, or is he trying to think, is king high sometimes just good enough?
He does check back.
He's going to be kicking himself. Great shot there. You saw how many people are in attendance, not just what we can see now, but wrapped all the way around this entire final table.
I mean, that's already with 4 eliminations.
Yeah.
Still a ton of people here. Hollart was the chip leader going into both day 7 and day 8. Overall, it's been pretty smooth for Kenny Hollart. Same can be said for his day today. Smooth, not the way I would describe it for Michael Mizrachi. It's been way up and way down. Back and forth and back and forth. Kenny, backpack off. We gotta play hand, man. Oh, nice catch on the rail. The one-handed snag of the backpack. Strong.
If I may, just very quickly, as this last hand before break, before we head out to the break desk. As Kenny has ace king.
Can I wear this Larry Bird shirt at the break desk, by the way, or no?
Well, you can wear whatever you want, Brent. I just want to thank you guys, Poker Go, and everybody. I've talked about this a lot, you know, on my feeds on What's Right with Nick Wright, a little bit on the TV show First Things First. No free plugs, but there it is.
It's on FS1.
That what a true, absolute dream of mine it was to be a part of the World Series of Poker main event. And this has been one of the greatest honors of my career. And I greatly, greatly appreciate you guys. And I hope the audience has enjoyed it, as we might get one more big one before the break.
Well, let us say it's been an honor as well. I mean, not only have we been thrilled to get to know you over the last couple years, but for us to be in the booth during the main is like just awesome on another level. And when they mentioned your name, we thought that that was just the pinnacle for the two of us. Now, if we would have said no thanks on Nick, they would have still put you in here. But we did approve whatever that approval was worth.
Well, I appreciate it, and we might get one more big one.
Mizrachi's in there also with the 10-7. And he does flop to pair.
How
as it
does that
comes
flop
Jack
come?
10-7.
Check.
Hollart, the Broadway draw, the open-ended straight draw for Waz.
I would be shocked if Hollart put another chip in the pot on this texture, being called from the small blind and the big blind.
Check. Check.
Eight on the turn.
That is 4.3.
Assuming you're right, Brent, and Kenny does fold, it feels like a pretty clear, at least, call for Waz, though.
Certainly for Waz, I'm unclear even if Kenny will fold with the draw to the nuts and against Mizrachi, who might just do this with, you know, a solo 10x holding. Any pair, really. And Waz now just getting an incredible price with King Queen.
Great rail. River brings another 8.
And obviously not the card Mike was hoping to see.
Or really anybody was hoping.
Yeah, I think it's
take
just
advantage of it.
It's really more of a brick for Kenny and Waz. I don't think Mike is that upset, right? Kenny never has queens, kings, or aces. There's not a lot of overpairs out there. You could be a little annoyed if Waz somehow has like king, jack, ace, jack in this hand. But this likely just goes check through. I don't see Kenny being able to rep much.
King, jack, ace, jack is what I was thinking, but you might be right. The line doesn't make sense for that. And if it does check through, Grinder just adds to his massive chip lead.
Sevens and tens. Sevens and eights.
And Grinder's got nearly $250 million chips, guys.
He's got more than 40% of the chips in play.
The Michael Mizrachi show. Our show will continue as the players go to break. We have Ali Najad and Nick Schulman on the break desk for you, recapping the action. And then Ali and Nick will be in the booth. As we remind you that Play Poker Go is where the action never stops. And now you can chase your share of $1 million in gold every single hour. Jump into free online poker with real players and zero risk. Play now at playpokergo.com. Available on web, iOS, and Android. A very quick commercial, and then Ali Najad and Poker Hall of Famer Nick Schulman at the break desk.
Afraid to do what I have to do.
You know what my problem is? I just don't believe you.
Let's see what this footballer is made out of.
I'm an aggressive player.
Stop showing off, mate.
Are you kidding me?
Anything can happen in a big game on tour.
Well, much to the disappointment of many out in the poker world, there will be no first female champion here at the World Series of Poker main event. Horseshoe Las Vegas, Ali Najad alongside Nick Schulman. And I'll tell you what, I think everybody could use a little bit of a breather as the hazmat team is out here mopping up the floor. Tremendous amounts of violence and bloodshed here. Many have fallen unexpectedly. Let's dive really quickly into the leaderboard to see what the state of the union is right now. And I don't need to explain, if you've had your eyes trained on the proceedings thus far, Nick, who is at the top and why. The Grinder $247 million.
Yeah, you really do get chills looking at that.
I mean, the distance between him and Kenny Hollert, oh so grand. Hollert's done well for himself, $92 million there. You can see for third. You know, I'm a little bit breathless. I know we got a lot to unpack here, Nick, but just right off the top, you and I looked at one another on multiple occasions, a bit incredulous about what was unfolding.
Yeah, I know it's our job to talk during this segment, but I may be too breathless as well, so I'm going to need you to carry me. This has been really wild. I haven't heard a crowd pop like that when the grinder hit that ace ever at a live poker tournament. So it's just, the energy in here is crazy, and
it might as well have been Drew Carey or Bob Barker delivering that turn, just given the absolute monumental nature of it, a huge ace.
And the 25K horse out there, everybody went nuts. You know, I made eye contact with so many people I know. What an insane moment.
Yeah, very much so. And the moment brought to you in part by Poker Stars. Let's talk a little bit about Leo Margetts. You know, she had a tremendous amount of support, not just at large, but right here. Her rail was robust. You could feel that there was that buzz in the air, Nick, and then it all came crashing to a halt for her as you see the moment where it dawned. Unfortunately, not to be, but so much love being shown by her fellow players.
Unbelievable run. You know, when you see a run like that where everybody kind of gets together and is so excited and just rooting for her and stuff like that, it's a beautiful thing about poker. You know, sometimes we all come together. Everybody I spoke to, even if they're rooting for somebody else, they were like, I'd be cool with Margetts, though.
Yeah, it's funny because I thought when all of a sudden the crowd erupted on the turn, we were going to have ourselves another one of those grinder moments. Ace, and then all of a sudden snatched from her clutches. Were you all right with the way that she proceeded there, by the way? Limp the ace-10, sixes jam, she goes with it. Seems very straightforward, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, let's move forward then and take a look at the big moment for the grinder. This is where he doubled. It was a Braxton Dunaway Open. Then you saw that Queen 9 lacking durability, 3-bet by the King-King button of Wozniak, your chip leader coming in. The grinder found himself the Ace-King. He's not afraid of variance, Nick. 4-betting to 30 million with 42 million back, and then the rest of the writing was on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, again,
Calls the all in.
this moment was so wild.
151.4 million chip pot. The flop, Kings looked cozy. Wozniak's rail was holding on. The turn, the Queen. Hang tight, because you might think that it's the 10, but no, it's the ace that rolled off. I said it was the turn, it was the river, it didn't matter where it happened. That was going to be the reaction. I was shocked there wasn't any lava spewing out of the rail just based on the volcanic nature of things.
It was so breathtaking. And I mean, the grinder is putting together sort of the greatest run in tournament poker history in a lot of ways. You know, there's room for interpretation, but with the fourth PPC this year, being where he is right now in the main, and just hitting that card, it's all just...
He only had 3 actual outs in that particular spot, making it even more insane. Just really quickly, though, Nick, he marches to the beat of his own drum, does the grinder. He's not out here amongst the ilk of the GTO that are often referenced in the high roller communities, just zigging, zagging, doing it his way and doing it to great effect.
Yeah, you know, he's a singular sort of talent in live poker tournaments, and I think you summed it up really nicely. This is insane. It's a really beautiful thing to watch. And you know, Grinder, it was funny. I played with him day one of the PPC and kind of knew he was going to win. Or at the very least, it was that feeling. It's all happening again. He's so calm. He's so hard to kind of deal with. And it's just a different sort of thing, man. And this is truly wild. For him to have the chip lead, 5 left in the main is something else.
Well, listen, the wilderness didn't stop with the grinder. As we flash back to the moment for Margetts, the hand that she played, we touched on it against Hallert. It was effectively a hand of poker, but on a scale and a stage that likely the average poker player will never even come within sniffing distance of, Nick, and that's what magnifies both the joy for someone like Howlett, who ends up emerging victorious with the flush, and also the pain when it comes to her enduring that roller coaster after the jack high flop.
This was nicely played from Margette's, and by the way, she played great poker for days. I mean, it was really impressive. As we can see, slides into the lead, and we know the heartbreak is coming.
Those sixes, you could see Howlett recognizing, perhaps more so than Margette's rail did, that there was still stuff to fade, and the shock, not quite the awe, was delivered on the end in an 81 million chip pot. And credit to Kenny Howlett, absolutely one of the most respected and admired sort of ambassadors in the game, was the first to come over, shake the hand of Margette's. And as she was on her way out, you know, a lot of people clearly wanted to grab her, Nick, you know, have that word, be there fresh, and she simply said, I need a moment.
Yeah, take all the time you need. I mean, it has to be so overwhelming, and the adrenaline dump, or, you know, all the emotions flooding out, I could only imagine. So,
well, as many emotional and spectacular moments as the World Series has delivered to us here this summer, for me, and I know for many who have come to appreciate the body of work that you've turned in over the course of your entire career, as well as here in the booth that many are thankful for, Nick, there was one that was very special. This man is far too humble ever to bring it up himself, but just get a look at New York's finest, who was inducted into the Poker Hall of Fame, Nick Schulman himself, 64th inductee. Cash Game Streets, I confess, you lightened my wallet for many years online when we rumbled together 2 decades ago. 7 times you've been adorned with a World Series of Poker bracelet, including here this year. Just for those that didn't have an opportunity maybe to listen to the speech, who hadn't had the opportunity maybe to just kind of get a glimpse into what that was like for you, share, if you would, the gravity of that.
I mean, it was a special moment. You know, I have a hard time talking about these things because I find I don't really know what to say or how to put it into words. But of course, I'm grateful, I'm thankful, and I guess I'm such a big sports fan. You know, in most sports, the Hall of Fame, it's over. Where I feel like I'm finally starting to play okay. You know, like
I'll take the over on okay.
But I'm saying, you know, so it was a little bit. There was a little bit of angst with it, but, you know, I'm very happy and all of that.
Well, as you've hit one out of the park, there's some people in the on-deck circle with respect to induction, Nick, and let's walk through them, because prior to today's break desk, there were some names that you really singled out, and it's challenging because only one person can make it in every single year. There's a bit of a backlog, and there's some discussion about how to fix this, but let's start with who else but the Grinder. Won his 4th PPC this year, and now he might win the main.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was Seidel who said, you know, just put him in. Like, let's just skip after the PPC. So I would think he has to get in at some point, you know. We're talking about 4 PPCs and potentially the main. Even just having this chip lead 5-handed in the main, this is iconic stuff. This is a one-of-a-kind legend, kind of like a John Daly in golf. I was thinking about other sports analogies. You know, he said something to a friend of mine that I thought was really profound one night, deep into the night. But he said, I understand things I just can't explain. And it really rings sort of true. You know, he just knows what you have a disproportionate amount of the time. He's a beautiful talent, so.
Well, what we've got is not too much time, but 5 other names I know you want to touch on quickly. Let's talk Jeremy Osmus, basically a part of the furniture when it comes to deep runs.
Yeah, I mean, Osmus has been one of the best players in the world for a long time, and his results are tremendous. And just the way he carries himself, you know, he's a great guy. He does it the right way. And that's what's so tough about the Poker Hall of Fame with the whole one gets in. I know some people have advocated for more. One is really tough, but to me, Osmus seems like a Hall of Fame type player.
Well, you do have to wait until you're 40 years of age to be eligible. Of course, first ballot, there are some people in that conversation. Last year, this man won 3 bracelets in 1 year, sort of called his shot. I'm talking, of course, about Scott Seaver. His turn certainly would be a legitimate one.
Seaver, another iconic player, and last year was really special. It wasn't just that he won the 3 bracelets, but it was kind of the way he won it. He had one hand in deuce. That was really remarkable. Played high-stakes mixed cash. He's great in every game and kind of a little bit larger than life. So, you know, Seaver's getting in as well.
Well, how about Phil Galfond? You know, not to pivot too hard, but this is a man who absolutely terrorized anybody that was willing to grab a mouse and take him on in the four-card streets for about as long as I can remember. Has sort of, you know, lessened the burden and the schedule of late, but his body of work speaking for itself too.
Yeah, and he was, you know, one of the first, if not the first, really influential in poker sort of content, coaching, training videos, et cetera, where he's phenomenal and you know, all his stuff is worth firing. Will play anybody heads up. PLO has beaten almost everybody.
Right.
So this is so hard, you know. I kind of hate this conversation, but it's a part of the fabric of the game.
Yeah, it's obviously a little bit uncomfortable. And if you thought it was challenging after we brought up those 5 names, how about Jason Kuhn?
Yeah.
He's becoming eligible. A 12-time Triton Super High Roller Series winner. Obviously outside the borders of the World Series, Nick, but that is about as stiff the competition that you could ever hope to assemble when it comes to getting it done, and yet he plants his flag over and over again.
Unequivocally one of the best players ever. Generally, that means you get into the Hall of Fame, so what can you say?
Last but not least, this one stands a little bit apart, and for some that are out there watching, maybe newer to the game, Nick, less familiar to them, but a legend unto his own right. They used to call him Professor Backwards, but forwards he marched for many, many years. Ted Forrest.
Yeah, I mean, just given what he did to me in one famous heads-up online session 20 years ago, to me, he's in. But I think people don't know how influential he was specifically in the stud games. He played his own way when, you know, before a lot of the modern ideas, you had a kind of player go rogue and change the fabric of the game. Sure. And then people start emulating their ideas, and Ted was certainly one of those guys. Well,
Michael Mizrachi has been the one to go rogue. All parties are currently guaranteed $2.4 million. We're going to throw you to about 10 minutes of highlights. Nick and I are going to hop into the booth and take you home as the first of 2 days of Final Table flows on.
Both of which happened this year. And
I gotta think he's got some reps online, because really he's played quite well for a while now. So, you know, sometimes the earnings are misleading, as we see Dunaway with the ace-queen.
Passed over by Veloso. Footnote on him, by the way, when asked, Sergio Veloso, that is, what his biggest strength at the table was, Nick, he replied, calmness, being methodical, not being too emotional, and very rational. Said his weakness would be being affected by bad energy at the table.
Strong. Very sort of honest self-assessment.
Yeah.
Mangini with the 7-6 off.
Big
See a flop.
Defending. Braxton Dunaway finding trip aces. 7 for Mangini with that 6 of clubs is going to be modestly costly, one would imagine.
Well said.
1.5.
$1.5 million a man to bring us to the turn. Oh, now Mangini obviously hasn't improved his hand in terms of the aces up, but now another road.
It's a tough card for Mangini. Generally, these counterfeited 2 pairs don't go quietly. More outs against something like jacks through kings, or 8s or 9s for that matter, and we do a good job of unblocking draws and so on. 5.4 is a hefty size from Dunaway. Maybe that will be a deterrent, but we could certainly understand a continue from Mangini. And it's interesting also at depth. His hand is very vulnerable. If he's ahead now, you could see ideas of just taking a stand, very hard spot that we don't envy for Mangini. He does go for the call, and as we can see, this is very dire.
Consider just 13.5 million back, 5.4 the commitment to look up at a dry 3 of spades, bluff catch territory here, and Dunaway snap jams on him. I think he's going to make a believer out of Jared Mangini.
I don't know, you know, all those properties of the counterfeited 2-pair still apply on this very dry 3 of spades river. I'm not sure what the ideas were prior as far as the proper way to play, so to speak, but I could see Hero calling this particular combo of aces and sevens. This is a very hard spot.
Can Jared remove 9s through kings in this line?
You know, the 5.4 when it gets snapped on the turn, maybe. I don't know about the kings and queens, but maybe, Ali.
That would be helpful, of course, given his current plight.
And the complications are further given how many chips Dunaway has. He can afford to run a 3-barrel bluff. Does get away, bravo, sir.
And we have a 9-figure stack in the main. Braxton Dunaway feasting on Mangini bucks. And let's get a look at
Thank you.
Go to a potential all-in. Okay.
Keep it low.
Guerra.
Ace king suited.
2 10s. Hendricks.
Had to be us.
With the party spoiler,
Had to be
ace,
between us.
king suited. Breath held for the Spaniard. Perhaps.
So a Vamo sort of start.
Yeah, 6-4 deuce, a little exhale, but not all the way. No club on board is helpful. Irrelevant is the lone club on the turn. Warding off the aces and kings with every ounce of energy is Lautaro Guerra. 34 million in the middle, and it's going to go his way.
Certainly is.
Be seated. who are undoubtedly looking on right now, jumping on the couch cushions.
What a fun sweat that must be for the kids. See Pops out there, 5 left.
Do you think the only thing on their minds is how good is Christmas going to be this year? You know?
Yeah, Christmas might be on their mind.
No coal lumps in their future. Meanwhile, Wozniak delivering some lumps once more. 4 million. Again an ace.
And we could see the grinder just really doing his whole thing. It's harder out there than it looks to deal with that, that is.
By the way, it isn't an act. He has very much been in the zone. That unbelievable ace on the river with the ace-king versus the kings was the beginning of this incredible spin-up. He was down to 3 big blinds in this event at one point, Nick. 1.9 million. And just look at him now. Hollert defending. 7-8 comes up empty, as does the ace-high here.
I would imagine a C-bet from Woz does it.
That is 4.5.
He's sharing your imagination.
Take it, sir.
Not going to be sharing the pot, though. Well, he's a 50-year-old investment consultant, and I got to tell you, he's managed his portfolio to great effect. Consider the guaranteed ROI of a 10K buy-in and $2.4 million guaranteed. $600,000 pay ladder, not to be overshadowed, of course. That's 60 buy-ins. Boyovic's turn to find the ace-X on the button.
We'll see if he goes for the raise or just all in. 13 1/4 big blinds. Perhaps we're just all in, Ali.
Does feel like a reasonable approach. No Schulze, by the way, on the rail. He was a part of this final couple tables.
I think that's Samuel
Mueller
too, as well, though I'm not sure with the hat.
It is indeed.
He does do it. And the third 10-4 we see will be hitting the muck shortly.
Braxton Dunaway concedes.
Yeah, that's what's up. Is that German or doesn't matter?
Let's send it down to Natalie Bodie.
Leo, a historic run at the main event. What was this experience like for you?
Amazing experience. Like, obviously one of the best experiences of my life, like, for sure, of course.
You had an incredible rail here supporting you. What difference did that make?
All the difference, like, I felt ultra supported. I mean, they helped making this experience so special. It wouldn't have been the same because it's, I mean, they are friends, you know, it's not only poker buddies. And it's been sharing this with them and at some points, them telling me, like, this is the best moment, poker moment they've lived, or even like moment they lived, because it was so emotional. I mean, I get the goosebumps, right? Like, it's wow, and I'm so lucky to have lived this and with them. I mean, of course I was super sad. I cried 2 minutes in the room because you wanna let it out. But then, to be honest, I'm okay now. Like, you know, it is what it is. I'm very proud of how I handled the whole the whole thing until 39, and I don't know. I mean, how crazy, right?
So much to be proud of. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Natalie, and thank you to Leo as well, because as we mentioned during that break desk, we were on hand when everybody was looking in the immediacy of the aftermath to kind of get her thoughts, and she very graciously said, I need a moment, and collected herself, and we know why. But then came back and shared that with us. So GG's to her. As a female champion in the main will have to wait. And Barbara Enright's record set back in 1995 as a 5th place finisher remains intact, as does Wozniak's gut shot straight draw.
I love anytime Woz does anything, the rail goes nuts. Check call, they go ballistic. We'll see for the grinder. Does he keep applying pressure with these threes? He does a good job of not having Woz
$3 million and take it, as John comfortably sought value on the end. The dearly departed thus far, if you're just joining us, began early. Dae-Hyung Lee, the first casualty, followed by Jared Mingini. Leo Margetts sometime after that. And then Adam Hendricks. Jax, what he staked his claim to. And I gotta say, Hendricks was sort of independent of chips and some of the favoritism that a deep stack might give you. One of my picks to make it down there, Nick. 2-3 remaining. Grinder, of course.
Hendricks is great. And he can add main event final tableist to the resume, which is just no joke. You know, it's so impressive. Anybody who's made the final table of this event ever should be proud.
I don't think it's going to move the needle if, for some reason, things go awry and you find yourself in need of a gig at Subway or something like that. But it may not hurt. Maybe the manager is into poker.
Yeah, Ali, definitely.
Mizrachi into this 10-8 offsuit.
Touch close for Bojovic. These spots are sort of, we know we have the best hand, but are still meant to fold type ideas. Not know we have the best hand, but very often like the fold.
You know, initially, each player was given 8 tickets to the rail. And I'm fairly certain it didn't take long for Grinder's rail to find a loophole of some sort, as roughly 80 bracelets were.
Before we went out, a couple of them were coming over freaking out. He's got 15 people out there. They flew out here. And they're saying we can't sit up. I said, buddy, I'm commentating. What do you want from me, pal?
I'd hate for something bad to happen to someone out here.
I'm just saying, if somebody gets knocked out cold, it wasn't me, but it was me. But it does appear they're finally up there.
Wozniak drawing butter.
Woz with the crabs and the grinder with an ace.
Raise.
Oh.
14.
The Inquisition to the tune of 14 million here. Suited ace for Bojovic, Nick. In the small, pressure mounts upon that ever-dwindling stack of his.
It does mount, but
he dismounts.
Visions of occasionally grinder busting Woz are so exciting for Bojovic. And just ace-8. For Woz, does he want to peel and try to hit that crab?
We got a big hand here.
Is he going crab fishing, Ali?
Yes, he is.
And note the pot is 33 million. I don't know if that's lucky for Woz.
Not the worst board
Still
for threes.
in the lead. No, but a difficult one to play.
You got a red one already.
What was this? Grinder flashing the pocket for us?
I think he flashed the ace tattoo.
Okay.
Maybe there's a 4 there, though.
8.5.
8.5 million the follow through.
You know, this scenario for Woz is just so hard to play. But the bravery is valiant. Woz really can't. We would think Mike thinks he's usually beat here or chopping. And he's really trying to put pressure on 6s, 8s, 9s. And of course, the other ace. We can see Woz somehow.
Yeah, bad turn. I had you before that.
All true. Take it, sir.
Facts, Woz. as the seemingly never-ending green candle continues to take shape on the grinder chart. Well, this one is
wow,
perhaps an emblem of boredom in the truck, but we'll allow it.
No, I like this. G nicknames. Nothing but a G thing, Ali. Wow.
The great one, the Greek freak, the GOAT. The glove, I actually like a lot.
By the way, though, is that actually Brady's nickname per se? Like Gary Payton is the glove, but I think it's getting a little creative.
Wasn't it like the golden child or something like that? Or I thought I remember something. Surely Boston sports fans are going to be all over me.
We saw Hollert unafraid with the ace-queen off. How does he want to play this king-jack suited?
It would be quite remarkable if this fictitious character, or perhaps not so fictitious character that we've conjured up on Grinder's rail, began to provide advice in situations like this.
That guy ain't fictitious, pal.
Do the right thing, Kenny. Don't be stupid.
It's 3-bet now. I'll see you later, Kenny. I'm just saying, brother. Oh, Dunaway in as well.
Yeah, big pot this one. Feel it.
And Grinder declares he feels a big pot.
Somebody's busting.
Oh. Prophesizing is Grindstradamus. King 10 tray. Top pair for Hollert. Second pair for Mizrachi. Doesn't seem like sufficient ingredients as it stands for someone to be sent packing with 14 million in the middle. There's the follow through. 5.5.
No road forward for Kenny, really, other than call. Don't like to speak in absolutes, but
He concurs. Dunaway's departure, a formality.
oh dear.
Lady in black on the turn, dressing Mizrachi with the best hand.
And you know, we would imagine Mike pursues further value, but Kenny's range is alarming and has all sorts of big-time coverage on this board. It isn't as if Kenny has that much King X, but he can have Queen Jack, Ace Queen, this one. And if we're Mike, we're trying to get more chips in right now, I do believe. And for Kenny, obviously nowhere to go but continue once more. Big pot here.
Believe mom and pop on the rail. Is it perhaps just efforting exactly who the presences are, as Mizrachi's effort is to the tune of 21.5 million. For Hollert, the exit is not the option, and obviously the raise would seem reckless.
This is quite difficult. I would go for the call. I think it's clear, but maybe there are ideas that this sort of hand can just kind of rip or aggress beyond call. But he is going for the standard, let's call it 68 million in the middle. Grinder a 2-to-1 favorite.
The 4 is of zero concern.
I'll tell you what, Ali. This sometimes could be the end of Kenny Hollert. It feels crazy to think that, but imagine how many hands Grinder is playing. And if you're in Kenny's seat, he can have so many bluffs from which to choose from. Note he sighs and looks back at his cards. It's really interesting watching him just kind of do his thing.
You think that's deliberate?
No. Not deliberate. I think he's just so free out there. He goes for 60 into 68, and I think this is going to take a little while.
60.
But nobody would be surprised to see Hollert hero this off. Grinder kind of running away with this thing, Ali.
Well, Kenny's going to do a little math and determine if he clicks call and is wrong, as we can see he will be. Would be, rather. How much would he have left? And he is not in a rush to make his mind up here. This not making the decision any easier, Nick.
No, matters complicated further. And he picked an annoying size for Kenny. If he calls and he's wrong, he still has 24. Boyevich 16. He does pay it off. He hears the bad news, Ali. Oh my. That's a lot louder out there than it sounds at home, too.
Like Terrell Owens.
421 million, yes, Ali.
Like Terrell Owens on the Dallas Cowboys midfield star. He is basking. And I'm not sure anyone's going to be able to tackle this man. 421 million. Hollert devastatingly sent down the leaderboard. Now keeping Boyevich and Dunaway company 24-4 in the wake. I gotta tell you, if he just decides to drop the mic after this one, Vince McMahon should be the first call, you know?
That would be a cool arc for the Grinder to parlay this into the WWE.
His special move involves like a cheese grater or something like this.
Yeah, maybe he has chips, he's like all in and then knocks you out cold or something.
Yeah, he just sprinkles them on your lifeless.
72% of the chips in play. We see the bracelet there. They're saying it's worth $500,000. Kind of looks like it is.
Nick, there's a good bit of poker left to play. And I'm not trying to click my heels and ride a broom whatsoever.
Big slick for Boyevich. Go on, Ali. He is the outright favorite to win right now, if that was the question.
Is there really anything other than a misstep on his part or a sun run on someone else's that's going to be able to dethrone him?
You know, sometimes you just, a few all-ins don't go your way and all of a sudden it's close again. A lot can still happen, but we see the situation, Ali, as Boyevich says it. He's all in.
Precisely what he's been looking for.
See if Waz wakes up with anything. Oh, he does.
We've got a customer.
Waz definitely will be calling this 8 bigs and change.
Flicks in the call. And it isn't just the two participants on their feet. That 600K ladder and another step toward potential glory in the main could be upon us if the ace-jack cracks ace-king.
As is so often the case, gladiators tend to head to their corners.
Wow. So ace of clubs working for Waz.
And working hard. Steel wheel draw. The wheel obviously is a chop card.
Five of clubs.
This one's sweatier than a streetwalker in church. Jack on the turn.
Devastating for Boyovich.
A tortuous changing of the lead. Boyovich not out of it.
3 out of me.
The king is of use for the whole 36. The 5 to carve. And instead it's a 6.
What a run for Boyovich. Hard not to like that guy. You could tell how much his friends love him. They're still singing celebratory songs into the night. 5th place in the 2025 main. Very good game to you, sir. 2.4, Ali.
Add that to 700,000 in career tournament earnings across 81 cashes for the 36-year-old Serbian who lives in Vienna. A doctor and semi-professional poker player. Flatlining here in the main.
Sure. Yeah. Here?
Wozniak absorbing the remains
They're gonna.
Oh, they want to keep
of
going?
They said
Boyovich.
maybe 3 if it was too quick. I think that was too quick.
Luka described his deep run as an amazing experience. Tried to stay grounded, take things one day at a time.
Not done. They're still playing.
Did warn us that Israel was going to be loud.
Still playing?
The Balkan crew from Serbia and Croatia flew out, but they'll be flying back.
And they're talking to the tournament directors right now about whether we're continuing or not.
Well, Hollert, 24-4, Dunaway 30.3. This is quite the distribution right now. And the pace at which they continue to drop.
And obviously we could see cards are in the air.
The plan is to play down to 3, but we want to leave some meat on the bone for tomorrow's coverage. Six offsuit in range for the grinder. And I would imagine this has been a very pesky seat draw for Waz at this
It's a very pesky seat draw, and again, we can see how much pressure he's under with Dunaway and Hollert short.
King 7 vanquished. Little footnote on Boyovich, by the way, you know, if you're wondering, as you listen to these rails become so boisterous, if it matters, he says more and more as things progress, he sees the rails with the flags and the friends cheering, and he says it makes a difference. You know, if you ever get down here, final table of the main, Nick, I know you got some real cool customers in the Rolodex, and there's going to be some fairly poised.
Cut to the chase, Ali. Go on.
The rail. I am going to absolutely go nuts. And it is going to be somewhat embarrassing. So think about that when you're down to 10. You can punt and spare yourself.
Yeah.
Or make the FT and
it's
beware.
almost as if Schulman gave his chips away.
Well, King Jack not going to be giving anything away here. Wozniak on the button, arms crossed, chips soon to be deployed. Four left, Nick.
We would think so, Ali. He's taken sort of an odd amount of time, well within his right. Maybe he's thinking about sizing the open up to kind of deter Grinder from messing with him. Sometimes you reach a point in a hand where even though you should play, you gotta just sort of fold now after you've hit that kind of minute mark. I've been there plenty of times. You take that awkward amount of time where it's sort of obvious it's not a primo. And we'll see if Grinder kind of picks up on this. I'm by no means saying Woz gave it away, but it was a long amount of time before the open.
You do have to be careful and make sure you're baselining if you are tempted to make something of these sorts of delays, because there's some slippery characters out there that will be quite balanced in these moments.
And Grinder does make it 16 million.
I tend to agree with you, Nick, that there was an odious scent to the time taken.
By the way, Woz might not be going quietly. Perhaps that was part of his pre-open calculations, but he is gone. And Grinder rallies the rail once more.
You know, I've got bios on all the players, but oh, what I wouldn't give to have bios on all of his rail.
Hey, real quick, Ali, shout out the chat. We have 105,000 people watching concurrently right now. Much love, everybody. What an amazing main event this has been.
That's unbelievable.
Take another one, sir.
You know, as long as we are
Now imagine it isn't.
turning
Now imagine it
to
is.
chat and some of the viewers.
Yes, Ali?
Souza. Oh, pardon me. Real James Call out there on
James.
X
Yes.
is inquiring as to where he can buy Spearmint Rhino coin, because he feels like that one's going to pump soon.
I apologize for dangling the chat in front of Ali. Note the Grinder fully facing Woz. You know, this is a lot. This is real life right now for Woz. And I believe he's ready for it, but this is a crazy situation to find yourself in. And when I say he's ready, I just mean he's embracing it and doing his thing. He's conducted himself very well. But you got the grinder fully facing you, rallying his rail, leg crossed.
Our clock is paused and
What happened? We're done? Break or done? It's over.
We have to do a color up. We're going to do some more filming and stuff, so just hang on for
I believe they're calling it a day, Ali.
Yeah, TV's
Leave a
on
little
hand.
meat on the bone for tomorrow.
And I got to say, Nick, generally speaking, you don't expect to be able to hit the rack with this little poker under your belt or this few players remaining when you play day 1 of 2 of a main event final table, and yet the tanks are going to get replenished and they're going to have plenty left over to fight for the title tomorrow.
What are we doing, buying these off?
Yeah.
I confess I'm kind of sad. I was just really getting wound up.
You know, it just is what it is, my man. Tomorrow will be a great day. Can the grinder close it out?
I tend to think he can.
Done.
Well, he's certainly the prohibitive favorite, to say the least. 76% of the chips in play.
8 million?
This is lunacy.
Man.
It's going to be a bit of a David and Goliath affair.
I mean, forgive me, we've seen it all happen, but yet it's still shocking and hard to process. Look at this guy.
Just a surreal helping of tokens parked in front of Michael the Grinder Mizrachi, 4-time PPC winner, looking to add 1-time main event winner, and he is well poised to do that. And as we draw the curtain, let's check in with Jeff Platt and Natalie Bodie.
There are a lot of chips here, and they all belong to this man, Michael the Grinder Mizrachi. It's hard for me to put it into words. Can you, how this day has gone?
It's fate, buddy. I've said 100% I'm win it. I felt it the whole time. I know. I'm 44. My favorite hand's 44, and it's won the Players Championship. Now I feel like I'm in a really good spot. And I just felt like, I think in this spot it was just more experience, but I got lucky too. I got a lot of, the ace king versus kings, I got lucky, but the hand played itself, and I had another ace king. I mean, every hand, just fate right now. Just God, the poker gods.
Okay, on that ace king versus kings, before we saw river, did you still feel it? Did you still feel like it was happening?
Yeah, not the 10. I knew the ace was coming. I felt like the ace on the river. I felt it. I don't know. It's just weird.
What's it going to take to close this thing out tomorrow?
An hour.
Meantime, what you needed to do, but that'll do it, about an hour.
We broke records, huh? That was pretty fast. It was one of the fastest, I think, ever, right?
We might break some more records tomorrow.
We'll break it tomorrow. We'll finish off tomorrow.
Okay, I appreciate the time as always. Thanks, Grinder. Let's send it over to Natalie Bodie.
John, you told me you got really into poker during the moneymaker era. Does what you're accomplishing right now feel a little reminiscent of that?
Yeah, I think there's definitely similarities. I mean, amateur, working professional, making a deep run. Seems like there's a lot of fans kind of behind that story.
Quickly, just because you brought it up, how'd you get off work for a couple weeks? What'd your boss say?
We had a company-wide on-site this last week that I had to get out of to come down and play, so very thankful for that.
Very cool. Gonna toss it to Jeff now, standing by with Kenny.
All right, thank you, Natalie. Kenny, pretty quick day, I would say.
Yeah, I think we have time to do a pretty long interview because I'm not sure if ever, like in, 4 hours of play, we got down to four-handed, and me having less than 10 big blinds and Stack having 10 big blinds, and yeah, could have finished this today, I think, even.
I know you got really involved in big pots later in the day, but earlier in the day, what was it like to be an observer to some of this?
Pretty nice, actually, because, I mean, if big pots are being played and you're not involved, it means that you're risking of not busting while other players are busting, and you're, let's say, making some money. So that's quite a good thing. Was actually fortunate to bust 2 players myself. But then, yeah, some the last level was, or the last hour, I should have to say, a little bit unfortunate. Lost, yeah, most of my chips. So, yeah, I mean, that's poker. It happens. So, no, yeah, I mean, nothing to do about it, yeah.
Finally,
I'm still in. I still have a shot.
You're
so,
still in. You
yeah,
still have a
yeah.
shot. So can you give us just a basic glimpse of the game plan tomorrow?
There are people smarter than me around me that will tell me what to do.
Okay.
They will brief me on everything. I'm quite sure about it. I will know exactly what I have to do, what I don't have to do, and we'll go from there.
Thank you for the time, Kenny. There's one more in this Final Four, and Braxton Dunaway is standing by with Natalie Bodie.
Braxton, a lot of support from Texas in the house. Who made the trip on your rail?
Just a lot of friends and family. A lot of people showed up.
Did you send out a group text? So how did that go?
I think I was just waiting to make sure that I made the final table, and it was kind of tough because everybody had rails already, and I was just sitting there like looking back like, oh, crickets when I want a hand. So it's good to have a lot of support that made it out.
You've said this week that it's felt natural that this would happen, that you've been present in every moment. What have been the emotions of this final table for you today?
I'd say everything's happened so fast, and there's been some wild hands. I've been pretty card dead and kind of chased a few times just trying to make something happen. So I've got myself in a tough spot. I just need to run fire tomorrow, honestly.
Big day tomorrow. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, B-Dun's going to be hunting a blowtorch to try to get it started tomorrow. And it will get started at 3 o'clock Pacific. 4 of 9 remaining as we buzzed right through 5. And we're still buzzing after an amazing partial day of poker with more to come tomorrow. Been a pleasure, my man. Short but sweet.
Likewise, Ali.
Set your alarms. 3 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow. The World Series of Poker main event is going to crown a champ. Don't miss it. Until then, see ya.